Radio, in cooperation with the Oklahoma Baptist University Athletic Department, presents Bison Basketball. Bison Basketball on KGFF is sponsored in part by McIntyre Law, PCBU College of Graduate and Professional Studies, First National Bank and Trust Company, SSM Health St. Anthony Hospital, Shawnee, Lowe's, Hampton Inn, Sherwin-Williams, Eric's Pharmacy, Great Plains Graphics, Vision Bank, Emmanuel Baptist Church, Dennis Moore State Farm Insurance, Billy Boy Barbecue, Tinker Federal Credit Union, Boomerang Diners, OKC Tents and More, Water's Edge, House of Flowers, Shawnee Pit Stop, the UPS Store, B&K Equipment, Pinecliff Fritters, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Rob's Smokehouse, Extreme Inflatables, Shawnee Milling Company, Overland Charters, Tack Designs, The Lunchbox, Marco's Pizza, Chick-fil-A, Subway, First United Bank, and Vive Broadband. And now, OBU Bison Basketball is on the air.
Live from Fire Lake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma, the Great American Conference Tournament in OBU basketball is on the air. Today we roll into the championship semifinals, and two longtime storied traditions will clash as the Bison of Oklahoma Baptist, 17-12, take on the nemesis of the Nazarene, the Crimson Storm, 25-4. Hello again, everyone. Welcome courtside to Shawnee. I'm Todd Miller, along with Scott Waters, Clayton Kaufman, and our entire broadcast crew. Glad to have you along for the biggest day in the Division II era in women's basketball history. OBU a chance to play for a conference title tomorrow with a win this afternoon. We'll be back and begin our pregame show as we look at round number 3 between SNU and OBU. But first, this opening timeout from Shawnee. You're listening to Bison Basketball on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF.
McIntyre of McIntyre Law. I know firsthand the devastation asbestos exposure can cause. My father-in-law was diagnosed with mesothelioma in 2013 and passed away shortly thereafter. Asbestos companies hid the dangers of their products, valuing profit over people. We work with an entire team that is dedicated only to asbestos claims. If you or a loved one has been injured and want to know more about your rights, call us. The consultation is free. We love what we do, and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
The best tailgate party starts with a carry-out order from Billy Boy Barbecue, 120 West MacArthur. Billy Boy Barbecue has been owned by the Scott family since 1973, and they serve some of the best barbecue you've ever tasted. Ribs, brisket, sausage, hot links, ham, and chicken. Dine in or carry out, and they can cater your next event. So before the game or after the game or any other time, stop by Billy Boy Barbecue, proud supporters of OBU athletics. Billy Boy Barbecue, 120 West MacArthur.
Diner, home of the world-famous Burger Basket. Don't forget Friday night all-you-can-eat catfish at all Boomerang Diner locations. Boomerang Diner. Enjoy breakfast all day, anytime. Check for the location nearest you at boomerangdiner.com.
Did you know that?
I'm Noble McIntyre.
And I'm Jordan Klinger of McIntyre Law.
The devastation of losing a loved one is impossible to measure. When it happens because of someone else's negligence, the grief can be overwhelming. Wrongful death cases are unique.
Whether the cause was an automobile, semi, motorcycle, medical malpractice, or job-related accident, we can help.
If you want to know more about your family's rights, call us. The consultation is free. We love what we do, and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here to Fire Lake Arena in Shawnee. Todd Miller, Scott Waters, Clayton Kaufman. It is semifinal Saturday in the Great American Conference postseason basketball tournament. And for the first time in program history, the OBU women are a part of the Final Four in the Great American Conference after knocking off Arkansas Tech yesterday by a final count of 73-67. A historical win in so many regards, Scott, for OBU, their first ever Division II era postseason victory. It also ended a run of 10 consecutive years that the Golden Suns had made at least the semifinals here in the conference tournament. In fact, you had to go all the way back to the first year of this league, 12 years ago, to find out the last time that Arkansas Tech's women were lost in the first round. Terrific effort by so many great players yesterday making big shots, and now the stage even becomes a little bit bigger, the lights a little bit brighter this afternoon.
Well, Oklahoma Baptist did such a great job to overcome Arkansas Tech, another team that they were 0-2 against, as well as Southern Nazarene, overcame Alex Hill's 24-point outburst. You know, Jaylee Oglesby didn't get that many. She got 10, but 14 rebounds because of her high IQ. Now, of course, every game's different. OBU doesn't have to worry about that, but you have more of an athletic overall defense, a pressing defense. I know that Arkansas Tech had Dana Thompson blocked a couple of shots. I expect Hannah Giddy to get a couple. So you kind of have that wash there. OBU just needs to take care of the basketball. They only had 7 turnovers yesterday. They do that again and hold Southern Nazarene down. We have to get Jaden Getman going in this game as well, Todd.
Hannah Giddy, one of the better all-around players in the Great American Conference. She's third on SNU's team in points per game, 11.8. She averages 7.9 rebounds. She dishes out a team-high 110 assists and leads the Great American Conference in block shots with 84. This has been a tough matchup this year for Oklahoma Baptist. You look back to the game here in Shawnee. That was on January the 23rd. Southern Nazarene won it by 23. I left the gym thinking that night SNU's a better team. They're not 23 points better. And OBU proved us to be true when they went to the Sawyer Center the day before Valentine's Day. It had a shot to beat Southern Nazarene to their own gym, losing 57-55 when a foul was called on Madison Chambers with less than 2 seconds to go. She fouled a three-point shooter, Peyton Jones. That was questionable. The call stood. Jones makes 2 of 3, and there was no time for OBU to do much, and they fall 57-55. I think we see a matchup more like that game, Scott, than the one we saw the first time these two teams met.
I do, because the confidence is riding high. Interviewed Madison Chambers after the game yesterday. Eyes are just gleaming. Coach Overton gleaming. You've got to roll. You've got a team that's on a 15-game win streak for Southern Nazarene. Oklahoma Baptist on a 3-game winning streak. SNU's only lost 1 conference game this whole year, and that was to Harding. And Southern Nazarene's feeling the pressure, I'm telling you, because they're expected to win this game. They're expected to move on. I think Oklahoma Baptist playing a little bit looser. That's going to be an advantage for OBU.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, partner, and this sounds ridiculous. A team that is 25-4, went 21-1 in the Great American Conference, won the league's regular season, and they probably are playing for their postseason lives today and tomorrow. I think Southern Nazarene has to win the conference championship to get the automatic berth, or they're not going to the NCAA Central Region. They are currently on the outside looking into the top 8, and I think that says a lot, and not necessarily in a good way, about the way a lot of people view this conference, unfortunately. That is a terrific team with a terrific record, and they should not have to be sweating out Selection Sunday.
I agree with you. But with your statement, I think that backs up my point. I think that with that statement there, that puts more pressure on Southern Nazarene, because they're not like, well, we don't have to win the tournament. We're going to get an at-large bid. That just furthers the point more. SNU has a ton of pressure on them having to win to keep going in the national tournament.
You know, we said this at the start of the year. If this team was only going to be, and most teams are only going to be as good as their seniors let them be. And yesterday I thought Melissa Southard and Madison Chambers had their brightest moment in 4 years together at Oklahoma Baptist. The two players combined for 35 points in keeping their season alive for at least one more day. Melissa was 4 of 10 for the floor. Madison Chambers was 5 of 12. The two players, though, were a combined 4 of 6 from three-point range, and both had some huge three-point baskets. In fact, Madison's three-point basket gave OBU a 2-point lead after Arkansas Tech had fully erased a 16-point Bison advantage.
Yeah, there's so many. You know, Madison made that big three. Jaden Getman hit some big shots after struggling from the field. That can't happen today. I think Getman's got to get going again. But here, Madison Chambers, how about those 2 free throws? I mean, it was so tight late in the game. She made both of those. And then the rebounding. The number 6 rebounding team in the country, Arkansas Tech. Oklahoma Baptist out-rebound 47-43, 15-14 on the offensive end. You talked about Melissa Southard. You're right. Those first 2 3-pointers were huge. Some people always look at the error at the end of the game or something good at the end of the game? Well, the beginning of the game counts too. Those 2 threes got OBU rolling early, nothing but net. And Todd, how about the rebounding? Southern had 8, Leslie 7, Kennedy Large 7, Getman 7. Matt Chambers had 6, and then Sierra Copeland 7 boards, aggressive play, just only 12 minutes of play.
To me, the guards obviously have to handle the pressure today. They had to handle it yesterday, and they did. Oklahoma Baptist with 7 turnovers against Tech's defense. To me, it's the baseline, the interior that's going to have to play well today, meaning Jill Leslie and Sierra Copeland. If Copeland can somewhat duplicate 4.7 rebounds again today in about 20 to 22 minutes, I think OBU may be headed for the championship game.
Sierra Copeland's going to play a big role. There's no doubt about it. She's big because, you've got Hannah Giddy, 6'2", and she plays taller than that. Of course, we've got Jill Leslie as well, another Jaden Getman inside. Oklahoma Baptist, they were ahead at Southern Nazarene, down multiple points before what you talked about, that conclusion with that three-point call. It was really kind of an anonymous call outside the three-point line, jumping into Chambers. So I just think that even gives more. I talked to Coach Overton earlier. That gives them even more confidence in winning this game.
We'll hear that conversation with One Dog and Bo Overton. It's coming up next after this timeout. It's the Great American Conference Tournament semifinals today. Oklahoma Baptist and Southern Nazarene. A noon tip-off from Shawnee on the Bison Sports Network and Classic Hits, KGFF.
Jordan Klinger at McIntyre Law. We have over 100 years of experience fighting for Oklahomans injured in automobile and semi-accidents. Distracted driving is an epidemic. According to government studies, 1 in 4 crashes now involve texting and driving. That's 1.6 million accidents caused each year by distracted drivers. If you have been injured and you want to know your rights, call us now. The consultation is free. We love what we do and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
So, what if your roommate, we'll call him Einstein, decides to microwave a metal mixing bowl full of cookie dough and sets your apartment on fire? Well, we've got an agent for that. See State Farm agent Dennis Morris in Shawnee for auto, renters, frankly, all kinds of insurance. Dennis has got your back. So call him today at 275-1343. That's 275-1343. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Graphics is a full-service branding and promotional goods company locally owned in Shawnee, offering custom branded goods such as T-shirts, pens, koozies, battery chargers, you name it. Based in Shawnee, they believe in giving back to our community and work with many community partners on fundraisers and reduced cost. They work closely with top brands and companies, providing you the best quality and prices. And they do custom artwork too, and as always, free local delivery. Call them today at 405-273-4263 or visit online at GreatPlainsGraphics.com.
Fans, when you're on the road visiting Oklahoma Baptist University, choose Hampton Inn Shawnee for your stay. Located less than 5 miles from OBU, Hampton Inn Shawnee offers a complimentary hot breakfast buffet daily, complimentary high-speed Wi-Fi, parking, and spacious guest rooms. Hampton Inn Shawnee is proud to partner with Oklahoma Baptist University to offer you an exclusive visitor's rates. Call the Hampton Inn Shawnee today and mention the OBU rate to receive your 15% off stay. Call 405-275-1540 and book your room today.
Inside Fire Lake Arena with Bison head basketball coach Bo Overton, coming off a big victory in the postseason over Arkansas Tech. Coach, you're playing Southern Nazarene. They're on a 15-game winning streak. They've only lost 1 game in the conference, but something tells me after that 57-55 loss in Bethany that you guys had, that the pressure's on them. They've got everything to lose.
Yeah, I think when you get to this point of the year, I don't know. It almost seems like every game is new. It's like I told our team, all your stats, everything you've done the last 2 months, everybody starts over. And I feel like that's the same with them. The difference with them is that, their team is the total package. They can make threes, they can take you off the dribble, and they've got the size inside to score it. We all know how great they are defensively. So, again, they're the total team. I do think our players have some confidence of the way we played last time. But again, when you're playing that Tech caliber team on this stage, we're going to have to be at our best.
Well, only 7 turnovers for the whole game against Arkansas Tech. that is something to be said about your Bison playing on a neutral court, even though it's here in Shawnee. If OBU takes care of the basketball, I think you guys, the sky's the limit in this game.
Well, that's a big thing, anytime, whenever you play. And, their defense, this will be another notch up as far as pressuring the ball, pressuring passes. It's just another notch up. But I think the fact that not too long ago we saw that will help us a little bit. It's just I just hope we've got, which I think we have, I just hope we've got it to this point now to where the team that makes shots is going to win and the team that misses them, can't.
Well, your offensive sets look great. That high-low is money. A lot of teams are playing that. I think a lot, Coach, goes on the receiver sometimes because they know that you're going to do that high-low game, and they try to come back and pick the pass off on the bottom side. If Jill Leslie, Sarah Copeland, Jaden Getman are strong with the ball, that can be prevented.
Well, I think it's very important, too, on our spacing on that action, that we have really good spacing to keep them by themselves to where they can catch and go make a play. And I feel good with, any of our forwards at that spot.
Well, I know the confidence is there. You said it earlier here in this interview. After the game yesterday, joy in your face. Interviewed Madison Chambers afterwards. Nothing but joy and happy. Nothing to lose for the Bison today.
Well, I think that's the way you have to play. It's so fun this time of year to be playing because, think about how many teams are at home right now. And we still get to play. We're in a great venue with, and one of the things that's special, I think, about this weekend is that we get to do it in Shawnee. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody today and hopefully putting on a show.
Another victory, bud.
Thank you.
Well, over to Misty with Scott Wanish here with a pregame show courtside from Fire Lake in Shawnee before Oklahoma Baptist and Southern Nazarene play the third and final meeting of the year. We talked about rebound margin. Yesterday, Arkansas Tech was among the nation's best. Southern Nazarene is too. They're out rebounding their opponents by almost 7 boards per ball game. On the offensive glass, SNU has been dominant as well, 324 to 287 on the year. OBU's rebounding margin is 0.8 of a rebound per game to the negative side. Turnovers, the Mice had averaged 14.4. Their turnover margin negative 0.9. Southern Nazarene's turnover margin is 0.8. They average 14.2 turnovers and force 17 per ball game. Scoring, OBU averages 64 a game. They give up 65. Southern Nazarene, one of the higher scoring teams in the conference at 69 a game. Defensively, they lead the league at 58.1 points per game allowed. And that's really been the calling card for Trent May's club in now 6 years in Bethany. SNU offensively shoots 44%, 31% from three, 74% for the free throw line. By comparison, the Crimson Storm opponents are 38% from the floor, 31% from three, and 68% from the foul line. Oklahoma Baptist shoots 41% for the year. Overall, 35% from three and 78% for the line. However, during this hot stretch of 4 wins in the last 5 games, they have been shooting over 80% for the line. For the season, the Bison allowing opponents 38% field goal shooting, just 32% conversion rate from three, and 76% free throw percentage from the stripe. So, again, it comes down to making shots. It comes down to rebounding. It comes down to taking care of the basketball. And you know what, Scott? That's nothing different than you would say in the first pregame show of the year. The difference is every mistake, every missed shot, every second chance opportunity becomes a little bit more magnified here in March.
No, and against Southern Nazarene, the top team in the conference, only having 1 conference loss for the entire season, and that was on the road. Because what you're saying there, Cassandra Awatt, 65 steals on the year. Lauren Reither, 42. Southern Nazarene, not an astute shooting team, but they feed off those turnovers and they score off those turnovers, and that's going to make a big difference.
Head-to-head this year, Oklahoma Baptist shooting just 38.5% against Southern Nazarene. They're 12 of 28 in 2 games against the Storm from beyond the arc. 58 points per game. All of the Bison averaging against Trent May's defense, while Southern Nazarene averaging 70.5. A little bit of that, of course, is skewed because of the eruption in which they had at the Noble Complex in the first meeting back in January. Rebounds in the first 2 games, Southern Nazarene by 4. You can live with that, a team out rebounding their opponents by over 6.5. Bison have averaged 33 retrievals in the first 2 games against the Storm while giving up 37. Southern Nazarene scored 81, one of their highest scoring outputs of the year, back on January the 23rd at the Noble here at Shawnee, winning going away 81-64. Oklahoma Baptist really started this revival, if you will, back on January the 13th at for Bo Overton's club.
And you know, that's been a thought in the back of my head. That loss at Southern Arkansas, I wonder if Trent May is going to pull out a full throttle pressure, full court, try to take OBU out. I think he's going to try it at some point. I don't think he has to the whole game because their defense is the top in the league. But that's something that's worrisome in the back of my mind in this game.
Well, perhaps they do, but I also think when you've won 18 in a row, you've won 25 of 29, you are the regular season conference champions. I don't know that you tweak that much when you get here to March. That is our pregame show. Back to Fire Lake Arena from Shawnee. We will have the starting lineups and the open.
Let's rock nation, pledge your allegiance. Get your tees on, all black.
Now batting number 5, J.C. Oakley.
Leave it up, leave it up, leave it up.